Hi, I'm Belton, and I welcome everyone here tonight. I also welcome the audience that's listening in the Blue Water area on radio here in Sanilac County and in St. Clair County. I was born and raised in Deckerville, where I graduated from high school in 1967. Growing up in town, where my father was a small businessman who owned the High Neighbor clothing store, I learned the difficulties of running a small business, but I also saw the challenges and the enjoyment my dad got from that as he was able to hire local people and spend money locally. Small businesses are essential for the rebound of this county and this area. So I understand it, living in a household where I saw it happening. Farming is also a very important part of this community. I saw that the town of Deckerville, actually a complete shopping area of car dealers and so forth because of the small family farmer as I grew up. My wife Martha grew up on a farm near Argyle. I also helped my uncle who had a farm out in the Palms, Michigan area. So even though I wasn't a farmer, I feel I have a sense for what the farming community does, and it's huge for this area. I then went on to Central Michigan University, where I graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree, and I had the pleasure of teaching my first 5 years in the Marlette Community Schools. I taught middle school, did some coaching. While we were there, we built the middle school and the track. It was a great experience in Marlette. I received my master's degree from Central Michigan University 5 years later, and I came back to Deckerville, where I served as the senior high school principal for 19 years, and then I took over as superintendent for 13 years. And I did have the privilege also of serving the community of Sandusky for the June to December of 2009 and helped them out there in Sandusky. In my 37 plus years of education, I've acquired many skills that would help me as your state representative. The ability to listen to all people, to get their ideas, and to hear their concerns. I think that's essential. You have to be a listener. That's the job I've done for my whole life, is listen, try to get issues to resolve and move on. The ability to develop and monitor school budget was very important to me too. You can help be a problem solver by voting for me on election day. Thank you.
Next we'll have Alan Lewandowski.
Good evening. I'm Alan Lewandowski. I'm from Port Huron. I was born and raised in Port Huron. I'm a graduate of Western Michigan University with a degree in political science and education. I'm currently working on my master's degree in special education at Saginaw Valley State University. I've taught a couple years in the Port Huron School District, and I've also for the last 5 or 6 years was teaching at the St. Clair County Intervention Academy, which is the school inside the St. Clair County Jail. I worked with youths that were adjudicated by law to spend time in our facility. Currently right now I'm not working. I resigned my job in May to work on the campaign full time. I know other people are out there working every day, and I didn't want to get behind, so I've been going out and knocking doors and doing those types of things. I'm a 2-term council member in Port Huron, and I'm also a New and Optimist member in Port Huron and on the Planning Commission in Port Huron. And on the course of the couple of years I've been in Port Huron, we've done some good things. We've taken our budget and we've knocked it down from $100 million a year to about $91.5 million a year. So I know what it's like to go through and have to make cuts and do it in ways that don't affect everybody in bad ways. We've lost 25% of our workforce over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, and we haven't had to really lay anybody off. What we've been doing is doing it through attrition. On the Port Huron City Council, surprisingly, I'm one of the only Democrats on that council. There's one other one that I think that might be a Democrat, but you won't say if he is or not. But I've learned how to work with Republicans, and that's what you have to do when you go to Lansing. You have to be able to work with everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or Green Party, whatever it is. You have to learn to work with everybody, and I've proven that I can do that. I'm going to go to Lansing if you elect me to go there with an open mind and do what's best for the people of our community. I'm very open. I'm very easy to get a hold of. And I spend a lot of time going around and make sure I introduce myself to everybody and get to hear what your problems are, what you like about government, what you don't like about government, what we need to change. So thank you.
Next we're going to hear from Kirk Dale.
I'd also like to thank Farm Bureau for putting this event on tonight. It gives a chance for everyone to see the candidate and just not look at a piece of paper. My name is Kirk Dale, and I'm a Republican candidate for State Representative of the 83rd District. With more than 7 months of campaigning across the 83rd District behind me, it's hard to believe that August 3rd primary election is only 6 days away. I'm sure everybody agrees with that. During this time, I've personally circulated petitions for a total of 400 signatures and visited nearly all 42 units of government board meetings. I have personally spoken to everyone where you see a Dale sign. I shared my leadership qualifications of both business and government and discussed why voters should vote for me. My message is clear. I'm a lifelong conservative who is pro-life, in favor of traditional marriage, and a strong supporter of individual Second Amendment rights to keep and bear arms. This campaign is all about experience counts. During these difficult times, the 83rd District needs a leader who can get results. I've had to work with all the cuts we've had to deal with from Lansing. I'm against unfunded mandates that the state passes down to local governments. I know it is not going to be easy when I take office because we are facing a budget crisis unlike any in recent memory. I own farmland and I understand agriculture issues. I'm committed to not taxing our way out of this problems. I'm 100% opposed to taxing seniors' Social Security and pensions. Thank you.
Our last candidate for the state reps race is Ed Smith.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Farm Bureau. I appreciate the opportunity to speak and have your viewers and the audience listen to my message. I have three qualities that I believe that are unique to all the candidates in my state representative race, and it comes down to education, business experience, and political experience. My educational background is I'm a National Merit Scholar. I attended Wayne State University on a full ride tuition basis. I have a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and a minor in Computer Science. I still currently assist on the Irving D. Reed Honors Program, interviewing graduating high school seniors for presidential scholarships that are worth up to $34,000. I see high school students throughout the entire metro area and all over the state of Michigan coming to apply for those opportunities. But it's exciting to see that our youth is energized in all the different fields of study to help Michigan. I mentioned I have a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, so graduating college and all through college I started my own business. I've been in business for 28 years. Landscaping, snow plowing, lawn service, liquid fertilizing. I've dealt with the MDEQ through all of that with all the regulations and all the restrictions when it comes to liquid applications that our farmers actually utilize. It's a challenge, it's a moving target, and I totally oppose the unfunded mandates that one of the other candidates said. During my business experience, I've had upwards of 23 employees. In my political experience, I was a supervisor of a township that inherited an unfunded mandate of $40 million. That would cost every single person sitting in this room and every person listening $30,000. I've challenged that unfunded mandate as a supervisor, and currently we are awaiting a decision from the Michigan State Court of Appeals. My political experience gives me the opportunity to understand planning commissions, board of appeals, precinct delegates, everything that has to do with township government, county government. I chair the Sanilac County Republican Party. I appreciate your vote for Ed Smith for state rep. Thank you.